broadcasts every Tuesday night on Facebook. I have a support group there called Jill McKeever. Just blanked out. Plant-based lifestyle support. There you go. And then we also have a plant-based recipe hoarders, because there's not any recipe hoarders here, right? No. You don't need that. Anyways, so every Tuesday night we get on Facebook in the support group and we just talk. We share the praises that we've had for the week, whether they're food related or not. We talk about the moments where we've slipped off the curb, our cracker's fallen off, our cheese is falling off the cracker, our vegan cheese is falling off the cracker. And we just kind of support each other because it's a journey, right? Plant-based eating is a journey, and whether you're just starting out or you've been at it for years and years, every day is a challenge, whether it's a personal challenge or you have a challenge with your friends or family. It's just ongoing. So I love the support group, being there for everybody, and it's an awesome community of people. These ears attract folks with the best sense of humor who they themselves are so excited about what plant-based living has done for them, and they're so eager to share and encourage and support. So even if I'm not online, they're there to help, whoever, raises the flag to say help, help. So that's great. And then on Fridays and Saturdays on YouTube, I do a live broadcast there where I will cook as fast as I can for those with short attention spans, because they have really short attention spans on YouTube. And then we try to, I try to cook something, and then we do live Q&A. That's a lot of fun too. It's very stressful, but it's a lot of fun. So today, we're all about iPods today. How many of you have iPods? Yeah, I figured. I knew this was going to be a one. How many of you have more than one iPod? More than two? Oh my gosh. 3? 3? 4? 5? 5? Got a 5? Got a 5? I got a 6. All right, 6. I win! Okay, so aren't they great? iPods are awesome. So, just out loud, what are the perks to owning an iPod? Fast and easy. Sounds like
set
me.
and forget.
Set it, forget it.
Set it, forget it. Michelle, I see you. I didn't see you. I walked in. I met her at Thai cooking in a cooking class. I invited her here. Okay, perks. Yeah, fast cooking, fast and easy.
I just wanted to remind everyone, under the block, there's a bag for recyclable items.
Oh, did y'all hear that? Recycle.
Yay!
All right, so what's your favorite function on the iPod?
Okay.
Saute. Favorite function? Yogurt maker, pressure cooking, slow cooking, pressure cooking,
Timer.
What's everybody's favorite go-to meal in the iPod?
Any kind of beans.
Yeah.
Beans.
I hear dal. Dal. I'm coming to your house. Dal. Beans are great. Brown rice. All your rices, all the grains, right? Oh my gosh. What a time saver. It's awesome. So today the food for thought is, how do we use our iPods to feed the omnivores who are not interested in going plant-based? Anybody got that problem? Yes, we got some family that are just not interested. They don't care about your plant-based journey. No, but you're gonna have to eat with them this holiday season, right? So, I don't know about y'all, but I have thrown up everything I know to my family as fast as I can before they run away, and to tell them everything about plant-based living. That didn't work, right? Who's done that? Just, I heard this, I feel great. Oh my gosh, you've got to be a plant-based. It's so awesome. I feel great. And they look at you and they're like, yeah, okay. And then you're having, or it's that other situation, because I feel like I have lived them all. You're sitting down and you're looking at their steak and you're like, you know that's not making your heart puzzing, but my beans won't. This is great. You try to give them the scientific information. That goes over there. Don't care. I'm not giving up my bacon. No, if there's vegan bacon, it's made of tempeh. That's not attractive either. That doesn't work. So I have learned, after 7 years, I just do the Jesus thing, and I hang back at the well with the iPod, and I just wait. It doesn't help to say anything. All I can do is be an example, and the iPod makes it really easy, because you can go to the potluck, or you can go to your family's house and you bring this in, and they're like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's the Instapot. Oh yeah, I've seen that online. Yeah, it's really cute. And this one's cute. It's only 3 quarts. It's easy. You want to see how this goes? Oh, and then you start talking about those perks, right? So you can go, oh yeah, it pressure cooks, it sautés, it steams, it makes rice, it makes yogurt. You get them interested, right? And then, so we're luring with the iPod. Yeah, nothing to run away from yet. And then you can get them with talking about those meals that you like to make. Oh yeah, it cooks brown rice in half the time. It's so easy. I can push it, push a button and walk away. You like brown rice, right? Right? Oh yeah, they like it. Oh, you find out that the omnivore likes brown rice too. Yeah, oh, I can make beans. Oh my gosh, no time at all. I can cook up the beans, and then I can walk away, and man, I can batch cook, and I can have all this Tex-Mex all week long. You like Tex-Mex, right? Oh yeah, everybody likes Tex-Mex. Oh, and then I can make barbecue. You like barbecue, right? Oh yeah, everybody likes barbecue. Okay, so now you've got them thinking about what they already like, right? Get them thinking about their favorite vegetables that they could cook in no time at all with the iPod. Get them thinking about how much they already like, right? Oh, you like brown rice too? And beans? Are you sure you're not plant-based? Help them see that they eat more vegetables than they think they eat, right? And then once you've got them there, get them in foodie mode. Get them talking about their favorite vegetables, and then get them with the recipes. You're like, oh yeah, well, look what I brought. And then you can dazzle them and help open their mind to trying something new. I'm from Texas, born and raised. I don't think I'll ever leave. I can vacation, but I always want to come back here. So barbecue and Tex-Mex are just in my blood. I got my uncle, my self-proclaimed carnivore uncle, to eat barbecued soy curls. And he took a bite. He was reluctant. I said, just do it this one time. And I got it on film. And he took a bite, and he said to me, if I had used his favorite barbecue sauce on the soy curls, he would not have been able to tell the difference between that and like shredded pork or shredded chicken. And I was like, all right, there's your note for today. When you turn people on to barbecue, find out what their favorite barbecue sauce is. Because we already know that's what it's really all about, right? It's all about the spices and the flavor on top of the texture. So you're there. You can get them opened up. So what I'm doing here, so let's talk about the food finally. Okay, so I've got barbecue soy curls. Now, who knows what soy curls are? Okay, good, all right, good. Soy curls sound weird, but they're really just the soybean. They're the whole soybean that's been cooked and magically stirred and dried. And it looks like they look like this. They're dry and weird, and they crumble, okay? And you rehydrate them. You can rehydrate them in water or some kind of tasty broth that you've made yourself, or you get in a cube. You can add spices to that. You can blend onions and garlic, and you can make like a marinade. Like, if you still have your favorite barbecue sauces recipe, your favorite barbecue marinades and rubs that you used to use when you were a grill master, pull them back out, okay? And use them with your soy curls. You can rehydrate these, and I'm gonna shred these up. So when you marinate them, this is just water and a little liquid smoke, and they're floppy. They're really weird looking. No, don't show anybody these. They're weird. That's why you gotta cover them. Okay, so all I have to do is once they're rehydrated, which takes about 8 minutes, I'm gonna put them in my Vitamix or any blender with a really low speed, and I'm just gonna shred them. This is it. It takes no time at all. I'm gonna watch the longest pieces get sucked down, and once the top comes to the bottom, I'm done. And power. That was easy. Hold on. Too many. Okay, try that again. Come on. I've got too many in there. I'm afraid.
Fingers crossed.
Who was scared for me right then? It's like I did not bring that tapping thing. Everybody's like, she's not supposed to do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now, except for that piece right there, I have shredded soy curls. From here, this can go in that old chicken tortilla soup. This could be tamales filling. This could be go in any recipe, any of your family's old favorite recipes that called for shredded chicken or shredded pork in your barbecue. Do I need this anymore? No, I don't.
How would it do in soup?
What?
How would it do in soup?
Excellently. I made a tortilla soup, and I'll tell you about that in just a second. I only went through the trouble of rehydrating this because I wanted the texture of a shredded soy curl. But most of the time, I just use them straight up like this. All right, this is my barbecue sauce in, I think it's volume 1 or volume 3. I make this at home. It's easy. Pour that right on top. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the saute mode, and I'm going to heat this up. I can't read upside down. There we go. And then we hit saute. That was hard. Okay, in about 10 minutes, or whenever this heats through, we have barbecue soy curls. That is the end of barbecue soy curls. Yay! Okay. Now let's see if I can talk and cook at the same time. Okay, that's done for that. That's got to heat through. And then in this one, I did kind of jump ahead. Is this saying L? Just give me an L. Oh yeah, it's finished. All right. In this, I have tortilla soup. And I have pressure cooked this for 2 minutes. And this is in volume 2 of the OMD soy curls book. You don't have soy curls for this one, it's okay, but man, it really goes with it. It's really good. In this one, I did not rehydrate the soy curls. I just put them in dry, threw in all my chopped vegetables, threw in my no chicken broth, and the spices, cumin, chili powder, a little paprika, no salt. The chicken broth, the no chicken broth that I use is low sodium from Edward and Sons. That's it. So I found this at Rabbit Food Bakery, or Rabbit Food Grocery. So that's cool. They also have no beef, not low sodium, but anyways, I'm using that. This is the Ultra. Anybody got the Ultra yet?
No.
Isn't it fun? It's more fun than I was like, I don't know, it's got a screen, it's digital. I love it. I love it. And I love the 8 quart. If you're trying to decide if the 8 quart is too much, it's not. You can get an entire quart jar in there. You can get 3 quart jars in there to make yogurt. That's beautiful. Have yogurt for days. Or sour cream. Or you can drain it and make yogurt cheese. So,
Oh, it smells really good.
it's good. It's so good. Come on, ladies. Okay, so we got barbecue. We're gonna have a tortilla soup. All I really have to do with this, I threw all my ingredients in here, turned it to pressure cook, set it for 2 minutes. I didn't do the keep warm because we're gonna eat it right away. And we're done. I'm letting off the steam. You can do the 10-minute natural pressure release if you want to. Mine's usually like 30 minutes because I forget. I just like push the button and then I go on about life and then I come back and oh yeah, here's dinner. Anyways, and all I'm gonna do is add the tortilla strips to this right at the end and a little lime juice and it's done. I'm finished. And then I want to show you my nacho cheese sauce. Sous chef, will you give this a rinse for me? Thank you. Doesn't have to be like scoured, just rinse it. Nobody cares.
Jill, did you saute the vegetables before throwing them?
No, I did not.
You just throw everything
I
in?
just throw it in there.
Okay.
The only time I ever saute my onions and garlic is if I'm just cooking right directly, if I'm going to use the saute feature or function, then I do it. But if I'm pressure cooking, onions and all that cook up so quickly, like within a minute. So you can skip that unless and I have years ago I did the saute first and then do it and then just throw it all. I can't tell. I can't tell that the onions were caramelized first after all the other stuff I'm putting in there. I don't have that kind of palate. Somebody else might, but I don't. All right, so, and then I also like to get people's omnivores' attention with my nacho sauce. It's famous and awesome. And this version is nut-free, which is great because then you can eat twice as much. No guilt. And I learned this from Dr. McDougall, because he has a cheese sauce, right? That's with oats and corn flour and stuff. And his called for pimentos. Maybe that is not enough. That little jar of pimentos is not the way to go. That is not the winner. You've got to get yourself some roasted red bell peppers in the jar. I buy the HEB brand, okay, in the water. Half a cup of those, or one of those bell peppers with the juice. Oh, baby, that is so, so good. So that's what I've got here. I went ahead and pre-measured everything. I've got like a mutilated red bell pepper here, and a little bit of juice, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This recipe, volume 2, OMG good, soy curls. In here, my dry goods, rolled oats, nutritional yeast or hooch, and a little cornstarch. And then 4 cups of water. This is going to be loud for about 5 minutes. And what I want to do, because my Vitamix has the ability to cook, I want it to, I'm going to process it on high until the cornstarch and the rolled oats become a thick sauce. And that usually takes 5 minutes in this Vitamix. If it takes longer for your blender, that's okay. You gotta make sure that your blender has the ability to cook. If it doesn't, that's cool. Blend this until it's smooth, transfer it to a saucepan, put it on medium heat, and don't check your email. Okay? Just stand right there, meditate, be one with the cheese, whatever. It'll take you about 5 minutes. You're just waiting for that cornstarch to do its thing. Everybody knows what cornstarch does. You're waiting for the cornstarch to do its thing. It gets really thick, and right when you think it's thick, get it off the heat, transfer it, because it gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and as it cools, well, now you could swing it across the room. So, all right, so that's it. And this is awesome. The smoked, the roasted red bell pepper really gives it a nice smoky cheddar taste, and everybody will eat it. My husband took this to a party. It was the rage. I mean, they were supposed to be talking about app development, and at some point, everybody just turned to Charlie's cheese sauce, and he had to explain how he made it. And then my son, he's done the same thing. He goes to parties, he takes this, and everybody's like, what? And he tells them it's vegan, and they're like, no way. And then he's cool. So it works. It works. And he takes this to D&D, every week, and he has to bring it. So, all right, I'm gonna get loud. when you're when you first start making this, just use the timer. And then, but for this, when this starts getting thick, I can actually hear the strain on the motor, and then I know I'm done. As soon as I can hear it start to, then I'm like, okay, get it done. So this is gonna get thicker and thicker, but it's about that running to start off with, but it's really hot. Okay? And then what I try to do is transfer this to a bowl as quickly as possible, because it will just get thicker and thicker like within a couple of minutes. So, somebody want to take this to the kitchen for me? We're going to divvy this up in cups, and there's some oil-free. I'll let you, you're going to need that. Thank you.
Bye.
That was our cheese sauce. She's going to go take a bath in it. Okay, so we're going to get them with barbecue. We're going to get them with Tex-Mex. And it's easy to do that when you have soy pearls. And we're so lucky to live in this area because we can get soy pearls like this at Wheatsville. Okay, they're easily found there. I know the Wheatsville on Guadalupe. Is there two? There's two. And South. Yeah, you can get them there. I don't remember which aisle it's on. But anyways, you can get them there for about $4.50, I think, a bag. That's a good place to start. If you've never had them before, make the trip down to Wheatsville, get yourself a bag. Okay, looks like this. And just try them out. This is enough for, like, this will feed your family for twice. And that's if you're making a recipe that's like heavy with the soy curls. But if you're just gonna shred soy curls and just make it like something in addition with the soup, you know, it's not about making these a main feature. Don't make them like the main thing you eat. It's gotta go along with the vegetables. That's how you slip it in there. Anywhere that you had shredded chicken or you had a little bite of something, that's where it's perfect. The carnivores will not try to pick it apart. Okay, so it's good like that. And then once you're sold and you go, okay, this is something I want to do, then you go over to the maker's website, butlerfoods.com. They're awesome, and you can buy several bags. You'll save money. They have a 12-pound bulk bag that will last you a year in the freezer. You keep them in the freezer, and you laugh, but you'll save money. Where this costs you $4.50 at Wheatsville, the same amount will cost you $2.28 with the shipping that you paid for the 12-pound bag. So it's definitely a savings to buy. Just make sure you have you've got a second freezer. The bag that it comes in is freezer friendly, and so they keep very well right up to the end of the year. And they also have taco crumbles, and these are already seasoned, so it's just the soy curls. They're genius. It was like you always have like crumbs at the bottom of the bag, and in these, and so they just took those crumbles and they added their favorite taco seasonings. And so you don't have to have taco crumbles, but this is fun. My son took this on a senior camping trip, and he took a couple of bags of those. It was 15 teenagers. So I sent him with several of these, and then the camp cook, all they had to do was add water to the bag and heat it up, and this was instant soft tacos. They had black beans, and then, you know, it looks like ground meat. And we have game night once a month, and we have all these teenagers. They are not plant-based, and they will gobble up these taco crumbles with the nacho cheese, and it's great. They don't care. They love it. And then this is you'll see this online, and I only brought this because you're going to see this online, and you're welcome to taste this. This is their chicken-style seasoning that Butler Foods offers. It's about a 50-50. Some people like it, some people don't. If you're curious, you're welcome to, you know, there's like taste your sweets. You can pour some in your hand and taste it and see if you want to do it. If you want to try it, if not, there we go. And then there's these. Oh, I cannot figure out how to duplicate this recipe. I am trying very hard. Jerky, soy curl jerky is so good. We're gonna bust this open.
Is Wheatsville the only place you can buy it?
It's the only place I found it so far. So.
Rabbit Foods.
Rabbit Foods Grocery, that's right. See, because I already have these on hand, so I was not thinking, but you're right that they have them here. So this is, well, let's get a big one. Nope, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna touch them all, so they're all mine. Okay, so they're dark and lovely, and they are coated with, there is a little oil, not enough to, like, send us to the hospital or anything, but I think it's to help get the spices to stick. But it's amazing. Again, one of those camping trip things. You can take it if you're camping with other people, and they don't mind. It's great. So I've got a couple of bags of this. I'll leave this one. But you're welcome to come up here and grab one of those if you're curious about how those taste. And you can only get these on butlerfoods.com website. Okay. That's it.
Jill, which recipe was the barbecue soy curls?
Barbecue soy curls is in volume 3, page 27. Yeah, there it is. This is the exact burger I fed my uncle. So I was like, I took the picture and then I took it into him and I was like, here, bite it. And he loved it. I was totally surprised. I was ready for him to make a face and he didn't. So if you're the soy curl books, I've got these busted out. Lots of volume 1, lots of home cooked meals. There's a meatloaf recipe in here that really tastes like meatloaf. Really, it's not a lentil loaf. It's pretending to be a meatloaf. It's actually like the meatloaf taste and texture. It's incredible, and it makes a great sandwich the next day and the day after that, and the day after that, if it makes it that long. And then volume 2 is all about Tex-Mex. The nacho cheese sauce is in here, and everything, the tortilla soup is in here. And then this is just more fun, lots of salads, more, what is it? What's in here that's my favorite? Tetrazzini. Remember tetrazzini? Oh my gosh, chicken tetrazzini. I nailed it with the soy curls. So that's really good. And then I also have an iPod book. So, that's there. So any questions about iPods, feeding omnivores, not losing your mind?
So I'm curious about your football nights and the teenagers that are coming to your house.
Yes.
Are you changing their mind about what they want to eat?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I just know they keep coming back, and I'm serious. I have 6 iPods, and I use about 4 of them when they come over. There's a lot of teens. They're playing games. They're board game kind of teens, and they come through and wipe me out all the time. I set out the corn tortillas, the flour tortillas. I make a pot of black beans. I've got a pot of rice. I got the nacho cheese sauce rocking. I got plenty of salsa, chips, and then I do a big fruit bowl. And it's all gone by the end of the night. But they love it. They eat it up. The cheese sauce is like they scrape the bowl clean. They don't. Then nobody's. It's interesting. Maybe it's because we live in Austin. Like, being weird is just natural. I mean, if I moved back to Sulphur Springs, I'd probably have a different experience. But here in Austin, they don't care. As long as it's good and it's hot, they eat it up. So, but I really don't know if I'm changing their minds. But they keep coming over and they keep eating it. Only the nacho sauce. The nacho sauce is like. It's a game changer. That's what people say. It's a game changer. They want the recipe to take home to their mom. So that helps. What? Go ahead.
How often do you cook?
Well, I used to cook every day. But then my kids got tall enough that they could put their arms across the counter and reach the can opener. And then I didn't have to do that. So, and now they're taller than me. And I've taught them to use the iPod. So now I cook once a week. So that's really nice. And they use the cookbook. So, and my husband, he'll say, how do I do that? And I go, there's this YouTube channel. And it'll tell you everything you need to know. And I guarantee you, hey, and I got this cookbook in there. And guess what? You love all these recipes already. You've already known. And you can just go through it. And he'll go, don't worry. All the directions are written. So all you have to do is follow the buttons. There's nothing to think about. But he's really good at making mashed potatoes. I mean, when it's his night, it's farmer's plate all the way. He knows how to steam green beans, he knows how to make mashed potatoes, and what else does he? Oh, and then he likes to open a can of baked beans. There he goes. He's done. He's like, I'm finished. Okay, that's it. But my daughter loves lo mein noodles with soy curls and no chicken broth. Sometimes she puts spinach in, sometimes she doesn't. That's her go-to. She'll make it every day. My son loves go-to lentil soup. We make potatoes in it all the time. Everybody knows how to dump a bag of potatoes in the iPod, put an inch of water in there, and pressure cook it for 5 minutes. Now we've got potatoes ready. We're getting used to the rice, so here's a tip. I've got this big pickle jar, and I've written on the pickle jar in permanent ink the measurement of the rice, how much water, and manual 10 minutes, wait 10 minutes, and then we can eat. And so I have to write all, I just write it all out on the jars, and then they don't, for stuff like that, they don't have to go dig it up, because sometimes just getting out the cookbook is just too hard. So I have to write on things, and so anyway, so that has helped a lot. And they're good. If I can get them to get a little more adventurous, not there yet. They like to just do like single ingredient cooking. Except for Maggie, she'll do her soy sauce. But anyways, there we go. That helps a lot. Any more questions?
How about your beans? Are you often soaking beans, or do you cook them maybe ahead for a week?
I don't soak beans because I don't plan meals that well. I just can't. I don't slow cook either because that takes planning. And I'm one of those people that it's 4 o'clock and I'm starving and I better go see what we have in the fridge. And what can I cook? So I'm kind of one of those. That's why pressure cooking works for me. But no, I'll just wash the beans, pick through them, throw them in the iPod, cover them with 2 inches of water, throw in the spices that I want. It's usually Tex-Mex, oregano, chili powder, paprika.
So you don't have to pre-soak them when you use the pot?
No. And for beans, 52 minutes works for me, just regular old HEB beans, black beans. Take 52 minutes with a 10-minute natural pressure release. Canary beans or Mayakoba beans, oh my gosh, those are so good. Those take 50 minutes to throw those in. If you soak them, they'll take about 20. Chickpeas, same thing, about 40 minutes to pressure cook chickpeas if you want to eat them in a salad. If you want to turn them into hummus, go a few more minutes longer, maybe go 45. That extra 5 will get them really creamy, and then you've got hummus.
So does the directions for the Instapot tell you how many minutes for soak versus non-soak?
In my book it does. So yes, I did that for sure. I don't think the Instapot manual is all that cool. I mean, the recipe book that they give us, that's not very cool. I do keep the manual because read the manual. If you haven't got an iPod yet, just do yourself a favor, read the manual and keep it, but then just go out to Amazon and get, iPod books or, get books that are catered to the iPod, and then everything works out. So the timings will be right.
Or just watch Jill. That's how
Or just watch me. I can handle it.
I had a question about natural release.
Yes.
So, a lot of times it can take a long time for natural release. And so, is there, I've seen that you can natural release for 15 minutes and then, and then open it for most recipes like soups and stews and things that are more volume. So, is there a kind of rule of thumb around that, or should you after a certain amount of if it hasn't dropped, can you just do it, or?
Yeah, okay, so here, now this knowledge is based on 20 years of just cooking with a stovetop cooker, okay? So when we're cooking vegetables, green beans, I don't like to pressure cook broccoli because it's so tender. I usually just use the steam function there. But when we're cooking tender vegetables, it's usually just let the pressure come up, let it go for 1 minute, and then get that pressure out of there because it continues to cook even when everything is off. And so the 10-minute, I think that's just kind of an easy way for us to remember to come back in 10 minutes. And most of the time in 10 minutes, no, the pressure is not, it hasn't gone down enough. I mean, it's not gone, but it's down enough that you can turn the steam release handle or press the button, and then the steam only takes about a minute to leave the pot, and then you can serve yourself. So for tender vegetables, get them out of there, do quick release. If you're doing brown rice, any of your grains, I would say pay attention to that pressure release time. Brown rice turns mucky for me after 10 minutes even after the 10 minutes of cooking, or just sitting there in the iPod. So it goes 10 minutes, and then that's brown jasmine rice. I like brown jasmine rice. It cooks for 10 minutes in the iPod. I wait 10 minutes, and I get it out of there. I turn off the keep warm mode. I don't want that on. It turns the bottom of the brown rice on the bottom to mush. So I do pay attention there. But if I'm doing a soup, if there's like really big potatoes in there, I'll just leave it. But I do turn off the keep warm mode if I want to use it later, or if we want to just eat it right away. But that's it. The soups, it doesn't really matter, things like that. That's good, great question. Yes, ma'am.
Do you ever have any problems with the flavors transferring? Like if you were gonna make yogurt, does it taste like oniony or garlicky?
No, it does not. It's if you hear somebody, and if you read somebody on Facebook say that it doesn't. No. So I wish I brought my first iPod. The liner is like a reddish brown. It's from the chili pepper and all the Indian food, and it just smells like curry and cumin all the time. And I can't get it out, and I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But I have made yogurt in there, and it has never transferred, never. So and making rice and all that, it doesn't. So I don't know where they're getting that information from. Now, don't sweat it. If you just have one iPod, don't worry about it.
I was wondering, since you've had so many Instant Pots, I've had one Instant Pot that seems to cook slower than the other ones. It would take like double the time in one. So I ended up giving that one to Goodwill, and I got another one.
But let it be somebody else's frustration.
You won't know any better.
If you ever have a problem with Instapot, if you think it's not acting right, you're like, just call up Instapot, because they have terrific customer service, and I've heard plenty where people they just got a glitchy appliance. They called up Instapot, told them, and Instapot sent them a new one. So I wouldn't, call them up, but no, I've never noticed that.
Yeah. My other three that I have now are
they're fine.
They're all good.
They know. See, we don't want to go to Goodwill.
Is there only one brand, or are there competitors?
There are other brands. I just own this one. They're not a sponsor. I don't even know that they know who I am. I have no idea. But I don't care. It's a good electric pressure cooker. There are other ones out there, and I'm sure they work fine. So, but I like this one because it has the yogurt feature. That's why I bought it. And I love plain. What's that?
What ingredients are
In yogurt? Okay, so go to Whole Foods and get yourself a carton of Eden Soy's plain unsweetened soy milk. Okay, the one in the yellow carton. Okay, don't get anybody else. It has 12 grams of protein per cup, and it's the protein in that yogurt. See, I got nods over here. They don't know what I'm talking about. It's the protein in that milk that is making that yogurt thick. And then I use Cultures for Health. Vegan yogurt starter. I have to order that from Cultures for Health. No big deal. I usually buy like 6 packages, and then I put them all in a Ziploc bag and I keep them in my refrigerator. But I'll buy a case of the plain unsweetened Eden soy milk, and it's just 1 packet to 1 carton, and that's it. And then I usually go about 8.5 hours, sometimes 10. I've gone as long as 12. The longer you go, the more tart you have. And so if I want to do a yogurt cheese, I know I'm going to strain the yogurt to have yogurt cheese. Then I'll let it go 12 hours, get it nice and tart. And people are like, what do you do with yogurt cheese? You spread it on your toasted bagel. It is that good. I have a yogurt strainer, got from Amazon. Cuisinpro, I think is the brand name. It's just called yogurt. It's called cheesemaker, yogurt cheesemaker. And so I'll go from yogurt in the iPod while it's warm, put a pint of yogurt right into the strainer, put the lid on, put it in the refrigerator forget about it for 2 days, whatever. It only takes 24, but I always forget that I have it in the fridge. And then you take that out and it plops out onto the one. It's so thick, and it's as thick as a softened cream cheese, and it's so good. And you can go sweet or you can go savory. I'll make 2 pints worth, and we'll put maple syrup in one, and we'll put like a little strawberry jam in one, and then the other one we'll put a little onion powder. And then we've got onion bagels, or the kids like to have blueberry bagel, toasted blueberry bagels, and they'll put sweet on there. So good. Yes.
Have you ever tried to freeze the yogurt?
No. It has accidentally been frozen in the back of my refrigerator, and that it became like a milk clump in the back. It didn't ruin it for making sour cream, but it did separate it quite a bit and made it runny, and it was kind of hard to drain off that extra water. I thought it was going to give me extra thick yogurt. I was trying to make lemonade out of lemons, but we ended up just using it as sour cream. So I wouldn't recommend freezing it. Yes, ma'am.
Can you use, after making the first batch, can you use a spoonful instead of a starter packet?
Once. You can do it once. Cultures for Health explains that their vegan yogurt starter it's a one use. What do they call it? There's a name for it, but it's just a one-off culture. You could get one batch out of it, but you won't get the same results as you did with the first batch. Yes, ma'am.
You said that you sometimes accidentally leave it in there for 2 days, and it's perfectly fine. How much do you actually need to put it in there, if you don't let it sit?
Just 24 hours to drain yogurt for a yogurt cheese, so you could spread it on your toast or whatever, or make a sandwich spread out of it. Just a day.
And you don't have to put it in a refrigerator if you don't want to make yogurt cheese.
Oh, well, you always have to keep your yogurt in the refrigerator when you're not using it. But I will usually refrigerate the yogurt, and then we'll use it, as sour cream. That's what really lives for most of the time is a sour cream replacement. But yeah, if we're not making yogurt cheese, it's just sour cream. Just 3 jars in the back of the refrigerator, ready to go. And if you don't I make a quart at a time, so I'll have 3 quarts in the back of the fridge. And the 2 that we don't tap into right away, they're good for 3 weeks. So, just when it's hot, when I pull them out and it's all hot, just screw on that lid, put it right to the back of the fridge, if that's not a freezing part of your fridge. And they're good for 3 weeks. And then that one we break into, then that, we try to eat that one up within 4 or 5 days. And it keeps. And it still will separate a little bit, but I just drain it off. It's not a lot. You drain it off and then don't stir it. I don't know why, but it breaks back down.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, so I live in a small space, and I was like, well, I can't buy all these. I have an iPod. Your iPod's bigger than mine, and I didn't get it at Goodwill. But the blender versus the bullet. Can I do everything that besides the cooking? Can I make an ice cream in the bullet? Is it smaller?
Yes. So she's saying she doesn't have enough room for a Vitamix in her kitchen, so could she use the NutriBullet? And I would say absolutely. I have a NutriBullet Pro 900. It doesn't cook. They have a NutriBullet RX model, and that actually cooks. So it's strong enough. But I have the 900 Pro, so that's just the one underneath it. And yes, it's just as easy. It's just as powerful as a Vitamix, and I love it because it has that 1 cup processing cup, and I can make a half a cup of something. I can cream a half a cup of cashews to make cashew cream, or to add any kind of nut to some kind of salad dressing or whatever. But I don't have to, that would never go in the Vitamix. You can't cream a little bit of nuts in a Vitamix. It just won't work. But a NutriBullet's great, and it's also affordable. It's perfect for college students or anyone with limited space, or who does not want to spend that much on a blender. And they have all the cups. They have such a variety of cups that come with the set, and so you can do anything.
It's a NutriBullet 9X.
RX.
RX.
Like the pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what they're trying to. I think they do powders too or something. Is that it? One more?
When you make yogurt, is it primarily with soy milk or have you tried different nut milk?
I have done cashew milk and almond milk. I did coconut milk. They did not work because there's not enough protein per cup in those varieties. And rice milk, and I've looked at the cartons, and they're all about 6 to 7 grams of protein per cup. But again, that Eden soy at Whole Foods, not the Whole Foods 365, they don't have them there. But at the Whole Foods, it's Eden soy, plain unsweetened. They have a sweetened, but it's not any good. It's kind of brown and it looks weird. You can't get anybody to eat it. But the plain unsweetened is great, and it gives you thick yogurt. I mean, you can lift it up with a spoon and throw it on somebody if you want. Yes?
Have you tried it with the ripple,
No, I have not. I've just used Cultures of Health. Yes?
How many grams of protein do you eat per, give it to that something that feels good, has enough protein, how many protein are we eating?
Well, when you look at all the brands, they're all about 6 to 7 grams of protein per cup or per serving. The Eden soy is the only one that's 12 grams. And it is just the soybeans and unfiltered water. There's no thickeners, there's nothing to it. It is just soybeans and water. It's everything we want, but it's just a lot, however they do it. Maybe they're keeping back a little soybean in the milk. I'm not sure. You can't taste it. It's creamy. It's thick, but it works. And I believe that that's just like, because the organisms are eating on the sugars and letting off the acids, and the acids are bringing the proteins together, and they're getting thicker. There's more protein to make a thicker substance, and that's my guess.
You write that yogurt in your book?
Not in any of these. I do have a yogurt PDF on my bookstore. So if you go over to my website, simpledailyrecipes.com/bookshop, you'll see all my PDFs there that just aren't big enough to turn into print books. But they're all there. There's the yogurt and yogurt cheese PDF is there, and it has all the directions and the products and all that.
How long have you been eating breakfast?
Since 2011, Thanksgiving 2011.
Like, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna switch here. That's it. Right into the holidays. So, but we went plant-based secretly, and we kept it to ourselves. So while we learned what we liked and while we undid everything, and I had to reteach myself how to cook. So we were in the closet for about 6 months, and then we finally came out. But we were ready then. We were ready. We'd read enough. I mean, we weren't like super. I did all those things that I talked about at the beginning, but it worked. It stuck. And there's been times my family they've been out, we've traveled. Somebody says, that scrambled egg breakfast taco looks great. Go ahead. And I've never kept my kids from their food choices. At home we eat it this way. If you're at a friend's house and there's nothing else to eat, it's not going to kill you. It's one meal. There's another one around the corner. Okay? No big deal. Eat before you go if you think you're going to be hungry. That's what I believe. But the times that they had to eat something, eat a breakfast taco, or they had that chicken at somebody's house, it didn't take them long. And they were like, oh my gosh, that sat like a rock on my stomach. My son, my teen son, he's an adult now, but at the time, he said, I'll never do that again. He's like, I did not realize how bad we felt. I loved it when he said that. I didn't realize how bad I felt until I ate that. And then for the whole day, he complained. And he said, I'll never do that again. I'll never go back. And my husband, he loves to run, and he will not sacrifice that energy. He loves being able to bounce back from working out. He loves it. He loves it. He will not trade that for anything. There's no way. He won't trade it. Yeah. So, all right. Yes, ma'am?
Have you ever tried to cook jackfruit?
Yes. My family did not dig it. Honestly, I see the recipes, they look awesome. And I went through the barrage and I cooked it all. No. No. So then I gave up. I said, well, I guess we just aren't cool enough. I don't know what the deal is. My family is just not cool enough to eat jackfruit. But when we discovered the soy curls and we poured barbecue sauce on those, that was something they could get into. That's when the world opened up. We don't need to go anywhere else. I'm good. They're good. So it works. But that's my family. That's all I have. All right. Well, if that's all, I'll let y'all go.